The election is less than a month away, and it feels like every time I'm on social media lately, there's another celebrity telling me who to vote for. Like Taylor Swift backing Kamala Harris, Elon Musk interviewing Donald Trump, and this guy always has something to say. Which makes me wonder, do these posts even make a difference? To get my answer, I dove deep into the history of this problem, explored how social media influences your vote, and tried to understand the big picture of celebrity endorsements. And now I'm starting to realize that this election is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Here we go. Okay, so I know that these elections have gotten more and more heated in the last few years. Because of that, my goal for this video is to stay unbiased, to help you understand what's influencing your vote. So first things first, let's rewind back to September 10th, 2024. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are live, debating important voter topics while 67 million people watch from home. Within just hours of the debate, a post from Taylor Swift goes viral across the internet. Let me summarize this one for you. She starts small, mentioning that she watched the debate and encouraging everyone to do their own research, to make their own choice for the election. Taylor then mentions that she's done her own research before sharing her pick. Recently, I was made aware that AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump's presidential run was posted to his site. It brought me to the conclusion that I need to be very transparent about my actual plans for this election as a voter. I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election. And she encourages everyone again to do their own research and use that research to vote for who they think is right. Continuing with, I'll link where to register and find early voting dates and info in my story. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, childless cat lady. Okay, but there's nothing really that special here, right? I mean, it's just another voter sharing her opinion online. But I guess not every voter has 283 million Instagram followers, do they? Within the hour, news articles picked up this endorsement. Elon Musk, who was backing Trump, tweeted out probably the weirdest thing I've ever read, and soon after, Trump posted, "I hate Taylor Swift" to his Truth Social page.
Let's say that I like Taylor's music about 25% less now, okay?
I think it's safe to say that Republicans aren't Swifties. But that doesn't mean that this post didn't make waves. This one photo sent over 400,000 people to vote.org, getting them information for where they can vote. That's pretty insane when you think about it. 400,000 people registered to vote because of one single post. So celebrity endorsements probably have a pretty big impact on elections, right? It's time to go a layer deeper.
Everyone is voting for Jack.
Mr. Harding, we've selected you.
Okay, so I did find something here. We do have evidence in 2008 that Oprah Winfrey's charisma, her star quality, helped win Barack Obama the Democratic primary over Hillary Clinton. Apparently, Taylor Swift's post could have the same impact. If she is able to encourage a population that generally does not show up to show up and vote, especially in those critical swing states, that could potentially make a difference. But wait, there's no denying their influence, but Schultz says the true measure of celebrity endorsements is still undecided. How is that undecided? They just said that there's an impact. And who is Schultz anyways? Political science at Hamline University. So this guy knows what he's talking about. I guess it's back to the drawing board then, so let's rewind back to the beginning. Rolling back to 1920, there was a presidential election coming up. And Warren Harding, the Republican candidate, had an idea. He'd worked his whole career in the media running a newspaper, so he knew exactly how to get headlines. He decided that he'd invite 20 actors and singers to his family home in Ohio and put on a parade in his town, instead of running rally events across the country like other candidates had done before. Fast forward to the day, and it was a hit. People loved the event. And news of it spread across the country because one of the people he invited to sing was Al Jolson, one of the most famous actors and singers of all time. And he sang a song endorsing Warren Harding. To give you an idea of who this guy was, think of someone like Taylor Swift or Drake endorsing a candidate and writing a song about them. Like, yeah, this is a big deal. All right, so what was the result? Did he win the election? Well, if we look at this map, yeah, he blew the Democrats out of the water. This election was a landslide, but I don't think one example answers much. We need to keep looking. 8 years later, Babe Ruth, the world-famous baseball player, endorsed Al Smith for president, leading him to, whoa, wait, what? One win, one loss. Does it even matter then? In the 40s, 50s, and 60s, Frank Sinatra was very involved in politics, endorsing FDR for re-election in 44 and JFK for his election in 1960. Again, custom writing a song like what happened in 1920. Results? Resounding wins for both the people he supported. Okay, I gotta be real here. I'm struggling to see the connection. I can't draw a clear line from an endorsement to a candidate winning when it's pretty much 50-50. But while I was researching, 2 words did catch my eye. Morality clauses. For a long time, celebrities have had morality clauses with their record labels and their agents. Basically, these keep people quiet about controversial topics so that they don't end up losing talent because they're controversial. To give you a good example of this, look at Kanye West. When he went on his anti-Semitic rampage last year, Adidas was able to cut ties with him. This is what morality clauses are designed to do. Obviously, politics can be controversial, so celebrities were told to avoid it. When they did share their thoughts, it was from people who were too big to fail, like Jolson, Sinatra. You get it. But over time, morality clauses faded, social media popped up, and now we see many more endorsements. I can't help but to feel like we haven't gotten any closer at all. I think we're actually right back at square one. I have a theory that I want to share, but first, I have to confess something. I'm not American. I live up in Canada where I get to watch all of this stuff unfold, but not take part in it. But because of that, I think I have a higher level view than someone who's trying to weigh their options and make a choice. So my theory: when Taylor Swift made that post, it got a ton of people to sign up to vote. But I don't think it's actually going to have that big of an impact on the election itself. Let me tell you why. Most Taylor Swift supporters know her stance politically, and they're already aligned with her. I don't think that Taylor's converting anyone who was a Republican to vote Democrat, or if she is, it's a very small minority of people. And the same goes for the other side. A lot of the people who followed Elon Musk were already Republican, so they're not being converted from being Democrat either. So I guess what I'm saying is, I don't think they're converting anyone, but I do think they're getting people to take action. Let's find out if there's any weight behind this theory. Step 1, back to research. I started by poring over previous posts, trying to find out the impact that they had. And I think I actually finally found us an answer. Going back a few months, Charli XCX dropped an album called Brat. This album took off throughout the summer, becoming a trend on its own. So when she tweeted "Kamala is Brat," it started a massive trend, getting tens of millions of views and leading millions of younger voters to learn more about Kamala for the first time. That is where the impact is. In the 2020 election, voter turnout skyrocketed to a whopping 62%. Even though that was a record high for decades, it's still awful in comparison to other developed countries. The worst offenders? Young voters. When they were polled, a lot of young voters said they felt unprepared and uneducated on how to vote. They didn't know how to do research, where to go to actually vote, how the process worked, and on and on and on, which is a huge problem that needs to be solved. Especially knowing that Gen Z and millennials are going to make up the majority of eligible voters in the next election. So where do you even start? Information. Most of Gen Z gets their news from social media. I know I do too, meaning that celebrities can make it fun and exciting for us to learn about the candidates and voting as a whole. They give us information and show us where we need to go to make a difference. The likelihood is that Taylor Swift isn't going to convert Republicans, but she could get Democrats out to vote. In the last election, posts from Kylie Jenner, David Dobrik, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, and more were all studied. And what they found was that these endorsements led more people to get involved, getting them registered to vote, giving them information, and ultimately swaying the numbers. Celebrities posting on social media isn't going to move the numbers in the polls right away, but that doesn't mean that there isn't an impact. The truth of the matter is, we're in a new age of influence. 100 years ago, it was hard to get your message out. If you had something to say, you couldn't just instantly go into your pocket and reach millions of people. Now, we're lucky enough that we have access to phones, so people can spread their message far and wide right away, especially if they already have a platform. But the other side of that is that people like to share their thoughts when there's a current event happening. Like, if we look at something like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, people were talking about that all over the internet. So when it's something with more weight and more importance, they're going to share their thoughts. And that's when you get election endorsements. People sharing their thoughts to their fan base to let them know where they stand and get them to take action to vote, whether they agree or disagree with them. And that's why I think celebrity endorsements are a good thing, because people are learning about democracy, they're taking action to figure out who they want to vote for, and they're getting engaged. So whether they agree with the beliefs of Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, I don't care, as long as they use their right, and I think that's what matters most. So it's time to go back to our big question. Do celebrities actually influence elections? The short answer is yeah. Taylor Swift led over 400,000 people to learn more about how to vote. In swing states, these elections can come down to just a few thousand votes. So even though the result isn't instant and the polls don't change overnight, celebrities do impact elections, which is good because it gives us information to make informed choices about who to vote for. Social media is full of positives and negatives, but giving everyone equal access to information, that's unmatched. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe because I have a pretty amazing video just like this coming very soon. And while you're here, check out this video I made about the flat earth conspiracy and why millions of people believe in it. See you soon.